Hello and welcome. In this video, we will focus on how to do the note making question, how to tackle the question on note making. Again, not a very complicated one, but if you just kind of try to build up in your mind, "Kare, ye bahut mushkil hai," that's when it will get complicated. So, if you look at the questions which have been asked in previous year board papers, you will get an idea about the kind of questions which are asked pertaining to note making. Now, before we get into that, आपको यह समझने की जरूरत है कि नोट मेकिंग आखिरकार करते क्यों हैं और किस चीज के लिए करते हैं। पहली बात, when what do we take notes for? We take notes for speeches, right? If a leader is giving a speech, reporters take down notes so that they can write a story, write an article and publish it in the next day's newspaper or in the website. Then when meetings take place, secretaries take down notes, है ना? Then you take down notes during your lecture in the classroom. When someone is making a presentation, you take down notes, or you take down notes from a book directly. The Obviously the question that arises is, see, this is basically to understand. So when you understand this, it will also help you simplify the whole concept in your mind, which is why I'm explaining this to you. Why do you take notes? Because you tend to listen very carefully, more carefully when you write at the same time. It is a fact. When someone is speaking and you are also engaged in writing down what he or she is speaking, you tend to concentrate more. You tend to listen to this, what is being spoken, more carefully. It also obviously helps you for reference before the examination in your own handwriting. Then हो सकता है किसी friend को जरूरत पड़े, he or she is ill, he asks for it, you can lend him or her the notes. Also, this is the most important reason: you can't read from a textbook all the time, which is why the notes become so very important. It also helps to remember concepts and for better understanding of the concept. Now, how do you make these notes? Now, you make notes using a heading, because you give, like you write definition, okay, or uske upar ek red isse you can either box it, and then you write the definition in three keywords ke sath, right, which are the subheadings, right? Then you can write the function, like for instance, agar physics ka ho, function of the motor, right? Then you will give the keywords for this, two keywords for this. So that's how you make notes, which becomes easier so that you don't have to refer to the bulky textbook every time. Then there is the non-linear style, which is the more stylish style, where you either make pie charts like this, right? You make it like, 25% this, 25% this, 50% this. So you make pie charts, or you make bar charts. Okay. Then you make flow charts, or you make tree diagrams. That is, you make this in the center, and then you make like this, like I had taught you in the mind mapping thing. Mind mapping is a part, tree diagram is used in mind mapping. Or you can make graphs, or you can make simple tables, tabular format mein you can make the uh, notes also. Now let's go into more intricate part of notes from your Yuvak Bharati textbook itself, to understand what is there in the notes a little better. Okay. Okay. Now you see the screen on your screen. This is taken from Yuvak Bharati, basically talking about what is the difference between note taking and note making, because both the skills are actually different. Note taking is a passive process, यानी कि कोई बोल रहा है, you are just writing it. Okay, so note taking at a glance gives a complete view of a paragraph or any content which contains the main points and supporting details of what is heard during the lectures or a speech. This is called note taking. Taking notes while reading from different books and present them for different purposes, you are taking down notes. But note making is a more active and focused writing skill, where a concrete connection between all relevant concepts and words is drawn to infuse or connect all thoughts together by a method. And this is where the non-linear methods come in more handy, जहां पर आपने दिमाग लगाया है कि ओके, ये एक कॉम्प्लिकेटेड कॉन्सेप्ट है, इसको मैं आसानी से कैसे समझ पाऊं, ताकि एग्जाम अगर 25 तारीख को है, तो अगर मैं 24 तारीख को रिवाइज करूं, मेरे को ठीक से समझ में आना चाहिए, that I am able to understand. So that is the art and craft of note making. Taking down notes is simple, the way you would do it inside a classroom straight away. Note making is a specialized craft, which is why some people's notes are better than other people's notes. Some people will just copy it from the book और उसी को बोलेंगे ये हमारे नोट्स हैं, उससे कोई फायदा नहीं होता है. नोट्स का फायदा तब होता है जब आपने सिंप्लीफाई करके एक ऐसे रूप में इसको प्रस्तुत किया है जिसको कि समझने में और याद रखने में आसानी हो, which is easy to be understood and remembered and retained and recalled by you in the examination hall. Now, what are the similarities between note taking and note making? Both provide the students with material. Obviously, this is obvious. Both aid the students, correct? They make it helpful. Both have the same purpose. Yes. Both help the students to concentrate better. Now, you're not going to get all this. This is basically for understanding. So, note taking may you're only jotting down points, whereas here you're helping the student to see each point clearly, which is why when we make notes, we try to make it notes in such a way that it's easier for you to understand, and it also includes all the keywords. Very little changes are required, whereas it is easier to change the notes made taking points from one source, whereas here you take it from multiple sources. There is less understanding. Here there is more understanding. Points are written in full form, whereas this is using short form, right? Only gives the early configuration for the whole topic. It helps in the students in capturing the main key, यानी कि पूरा concept को समझने में आसानी होती है. These are made from sources. These are constructed by the learner themselves, कि जिसने notes लिखे हैं उसको समझ में आके उसने अपने शब्दों में लिखा है, but including the keywords also, right? In handmade, or the way we make it, I make it in computer typed form. So that's how is the difference between note making and note taking. Now let's go take an example of the question which came in the 2021 board examination. Now you're seeing the 2021 ka board examination question. Okay, now here you will realize that it is about the growing up years of a child. A child spends a major portion of his life in taking formal education. School and related factors play a major role in the child's school adjustments. Through his interaction with people in school, he learns how to behave with peers and adults, etc., etc. Now let's go through directly to the question. So that question ko dekhenge. Isme kya hai? What I had said, like in a tree diagram, flow chart, by charts. तो इसमें flow chart को attempt करने का कोशिश ये किया गया है. इसमें ऐसा है, यहां पर एरोस ऐसे लगेंगे. तो यहां पर आपको कहा गया है कि अर्ली स्कूल ईयर्स में व्हाट आर द एडजस्टमेंट प्रॉब्लम्स व्हिच आर देयर, देन लेटर स्कूल ईयर्स में एंड ड्यूरिंग एडोलेसेंस. ओके, एंड लेटर ऑन यहां पर एक और एरो होगा, द पीयर ग्रुप एक्सपेक्टेशन. सो दिस इज द थिंग. नाउ इसमें देखते हैं चाइल्ड्स एडजस्टमेंट प्रॉब्लम्स ड्यूरिंग द अर्ली स्कूल ईयर्स. डायरेक्टली गो टू द पैसेज. ये वाला पैसेज है. During early school years, children's adjustment problems are related to being regular, being punctual, doing homework and following discipline. So आपको उस कोलन के आगे यहां पर क्या लिखना है? I'll just underline it here so that it's easier for you to understand. Being regular, being punctual, doing homework and following discipline. Okay, so these four words, being regular, being punctual, doing homework and following discipline, these four things you need to write out there. Okay, so that's something which you need to do. Then उसके बाद the next question देखते हैं. It is about the later school years. Later school years में क्या लिखा है? Later on, children are concerned about maintaining social relations. So you just write maintaining social relations. Then उसके बाद adolescence. During adolescence, develop and maintain relationship with opposite sex members, right? Getting good grades, obtaining good grades in exams, choosing an appropriate career. तो ये तीन parts, these 3 points you will mention where? You will mention here 1, 2, 3. Okay, just separate it with comma. Then peer group expectations में क्या है? Then peer group expectations में you will have that of expectations from its members. Okay, Peer groups range from neighborhood play gangs. Now, what are the peer groups? They could be neighborhood play gangs, they could be informal play groups, or organized groups for study circle. They have their own group expectation. Also, non-fulfillment of expectation causes the members to face possibility of rejection from the peers. Possibility of rejection from the peers. So, यहाँ पर peer group expectation that you need to. What are the expectations? That they will have their expectation, and non-fulfillment can cause members to face rejection from the peers, right? Now, expectations would be to share material, especially in things like study circles, right? So वो आप इसमें यहां लिख सकते हैं to share material and fulfillment peer group expectations and face the possibility of rejection. Okay, so this is how you will write it. So it's not you will get everything in the passage itself, और उसी passage में से निकाल के आपको answers लिखने हैं. Okay, so I hope this helped. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you.